Club Deportivo FAS walking across a line of Perez Zeledon players. Costa Rica and El Salvador matched up in the round of 16 in Scotiabank Concacaf League 2018. Important bout for both. They're both very much in it. Perez Zeledon led early, have their road goal, so they've got some breathing room. They do need to score at home. Have any hope of going through. The attacking impetus is on their shoulders. Let's meet the lineup for Perez Zeledon, the home side of Costa Rica. Brian Segura is probably the biggest surprise here, not because he doesn't deserve it, he does, but he didn't start in the opening leg. Venegas was impressive in the opening leg, Wright came off the bench. Keeler Soto is the captain for this side and finds himself as a key attacking threat moving up the field as Giacone with just 3 changes in total. Wright, Lopez, and Segura. Referees for this affair from Panama, over Vergara, Ramirez and Bruna, Honduran and Panamanian line judges. John Pitti, who is oftentimes seen in CONCACAF events, well-traveled, Panamanian 4th official. Captains meeting here. It's a nice crowd that's trying to fill their way in. Alajuela. Let's meet the Club FAS lineup. The side from Santa Ana, El Salvador. And Coloca is the goalkeeper again. One change. Juan Aymar is into the lineup, his 3rd season with FAS. In his 2nd stint, 29-year-old replaces William Maldonado, who did play a significant amount in Champions League in years past and did start in the opening leg for Alvaro Gomez. That's the only change. Montano and Stradea both coming up with significant goals in that opening leg. Perez Zeledon in the blue, it's the red for Club Deportivo FAS. We are underway in Costa Rica. 2nd leg. And maybe an early chance here for Perez Zeledon. Ball fired across. And it's away from Venegas, who's pushing forward. Ball whipped off the outside, left side of the netting. A good start for the home side. Go right down the field and get to work there. There's a Giacone looking on as Anthony Lopez, former Alajuelense player, loaned at Perez Zeledon last year, getting into the attack. Dennis Castillo and Pablo Escura are the 2 players that are left out of the starting 11, along with Carlos Mendez, the goalkeeper, in all the switches Giacone has made, the Argentine manager, Perez Zeledon. Not a great clearance here, leaves it open to Montano. Correa. Player down, that looks like Montano from the collision at the top of the 18 in dishing the ball off. Gibson Castro put it out. And the trainers, Club Deportivo FAS, will go out and check on, yes, Victor Montano. What Alvaro Gomez was hoping for. The Colombian doesn't look overly pleased. So he gets the ball away, and that's a clear incursion into his space. Montano acquired on July the 9th. He was last in Bahrain, but has played in some of the biggest leagues in the world, including the French Ligue 1. Sliding down, Correa. As far as Rodriguez. And now Venegas. Twisting down, foul against Xavier Garcia. Yosel Wright popping back up, having been taken down here a moment ago. Wright came off the bench last year in Scotiabank Concacaf League for both games for Perez Zeledon. Rather for Alajuelense, rather. Previous stop. Set piece on the way. Anthony Lopez. Lopez weaving it toward the back post, and Cesar Carrillo grinding Guillermo Stradea into the ground. And both Stradea and Montano, the goal scorers in the first leg, have been knocked down pretty viciously in the opening minutes. Ciccone named the best coach in the Apertura 2017. That'll happen when you win the Costa Rican Primera Division title. Right, knocks it over the top. On the run, Renderos to Moran. Nunez, a quick throw. Perez Zeledon coming off a 2-1 victory in the Primera Division against San Carlos. Right leapt over again. And Perez Zeledon, another set piece. 5th minute of play. Drives this in, Cazal the target. He and Renderos got tangled up. The flag was up for offside anyway. Renderos is still down and grabbing at his left leg. Well, tough to see when the ball was actually struck. Scoreless in the first leg, but the aggregate swings in favor of Club Deportivo FAS of El Salvador. 2-1 win on their home ground, Estadio Cuscatlan in San Salvador, making the trip from Santa Ana, delighting the fans that made the trip. But Perez Zeledon does have that massive away goal. Gives them a little more breathing room here, even if you concede Club Deportivo FAS. Have a chance to potentially send it to penalties and maintain that away goal value. Give up a couple road goals, and that can turn on you in a real hurry. Montano collides with Lopez. Good sprint through. Ultimately, Castro came away with the ball. Sends a missile across midfield. Well done by Dustin Correa. Got onto the outstretched arm, Rafael Rodriguez. Looks like just a throw, though. Indeed. Flicked upfield. Venegas spinning around. Right. Wrong. Correa held up in midfield. This is a foul against Carrillo. Garcia launches off the head of Montano. 8 minutes gone, little collision there, sent upfield by Flores. The bounding ball out wide. Venegas dragged all the way to touch. And now goes to work on Castro. Throw for Perez Zeledon.
La cortina fue, güey. Oliver, la cortina fue, güey. Oliver, ahí la cortina también es fue, güey. Hola, para el Dustin. Salí del área. Salí del área.
Barantes, the return ball from Venegas was intercepted. Barantes steps in now. Career highs across the board for Barantes last year. Over 100 starts going back the last 5 years. A native of Perez Zeledon. Little tag on there, and I'll come back to Aymar. Son of a couple of restaurant owners. His paternal grandfather is Juan Carlos, so Juan runs through the entire family. All the grandkids with that first surname. The attack on now. Aymar setting it up for Montano, and the late flag and the offside whistle. Very tight. Bouncing right, has gotten through. And right, it gotten through by way of pulling back here. Renderos. Scoreless in Costa Rica, but Club Deportivo Fas has an aggregate lead, 2-1. Well, and it does go off the arm in the end of Wright. Barantes crossfield. Perez Zeledon trying to open this up. One goal will put them ahead on the away goals at a 2-2 aggregate. And for Fas, one goal from Perez Zeledon really doesn't change what they're looking to do. They've come out with the intent to score, try and put this away. Whistle blows here, far side. Perez Zeledon has drawn a free kick. Anthony Lopez called again for leaping over an opposing player and riding over their back. But in the end, it is a Perez Zeledon free kick. 13th minute of play. Lopez has been active. Lopez puts it in play. That was sniffed out entirely by Fas. The goalkeeper is out. And a good slide. Keep that from being a much bigger problem. A chance to throw in, perhaps. Catch Perez Zeledon snoozing. Stradea tried to get in behind. Venegas too far for Carrillo. Now the Colombian manager slow and steady. Back into his seat just outside the dugout. You see him peeking out on the left-hand side. Monguillo and Segura, rare touch to this stage. Amar brought down. Barantes seemed to get him on the back of his left leg. Came in with that late challenge. So Dustin Correa ready to line this up. Correa bouncing. Lopez completes the clearance. And it's up over Ibsen Castro. Back to Matias Caloca, his first continental tournament. Argentine goalkeeper, his third year with Foss. Mentioned it last week, but bears repeating. Matias Caloca described Club Deportivo Foss as the Boca Juniors of El Salvador. Those are lofty terms from an Argentine goalkeeper. The slip ball for Carrillo came with a late additional challenge behind the play. Aymar shown to the ground and a yellow card shown by the referee. This is Rafael Rodriguez, just a little bit extra. Rodriguez goes into the book. First yellow card issued on the night. Comes in just the 16th minute. Rodriguez, who was a hero a couple weeks ago against Alajuelense in league play. 2 goals there and scored 2 goals in the last 60-plus games combined. Moran trying to get that over the top. Had the right idea. Nestor Renderos is just trying to tap that across from Montano. Foul at midfield. Wright gets hacked. Julio Amaya, the guilty party there. Ball for Cazal. Wright targeted. Montano. Perez Zeledon in control, trailing in the aggregate. Only one of their top 7 goal scorers from last year failed to return, being Josu Mitchell. Everybody else is back. This is a loaded roster. Team that's achieved a pretty significant amount. as Perez Zeledon was ultimately the #1 team in terms of the pot distribution rank. You think about how these matchups are determined. It goes 1 through 14 with 2 wild card teams tossed in. As it's turned over, Montano! Screamer over the crossbar. And he looks like he's worse for the wear. Massaging his right leg. Gosh, that is a poorly executed square ball. Keeler Soto almost made to pay for that. Pretty drastic way. Would have been a giant goal for Club Deportivo Foz. Well, this has to have Foz fans concerned, to say the least. A lot of respect here. Perez Zeledon players. That's Keeler Soto that's gone over to check on him. Well, they're trying to put some ice on that and see if we can't get a better look at it. He's just sort of running through the play and comes up hobbled at the end. He immediately shudders and looks over to the sideline. That is not a look of comfort. Montano's face. He is by far the biggest gun on this Club Deportivo Foz offensive arsenal. Still going to have to get on the board, though. He got back to his feet. But if the board's going to come, we'll see if he's able to return. This is certainly one of the lower tech boards that gets carried off the field. Anywho, looks like a change will come. Not a change they're looking to make this juncture, to be sure. 2-1, Foz leads, but they may have just lost their most notable goal scorer. The 34-year-old Colombian really was brought in to see through this tournament. So Perez Zeledon tries to go back to work here, looking to overcome their 1-goal aggregate deficit. And there's a Carrillo. Fender pushing up. Fernando Castillo is the player who will come on. Well, this is devastating for Victor Montano. 57th minute goal, equalize at home in front of that massive Pro Foz crowd. Now finds himself injured in the opening 20 minutes. Perez Zeledon trying to avoid a catastrophic error in the back. They nearly had one earlier. This popped up. Castillo with this run across his body. Castillo. Good bit of technical work, and then he's fouled. Jackal Venegas threw his foot in there. Now Venegas comes in and just sort of knocks right into that right boot. So it's a dangerous, dangerous set piece here for Foz. You would have to think that Montano would be among the players that they'd look to strike. Won't be the case here. Jorge Moran, Julio Amaya, and Brian Segura. Will this be the first time that he's called into action? Aymar and Moran waiting. You see Amaya is shifted to the side. It will be Moran. 20 appearances in Champions League, 1 goal. Does he have in him here in Concacaf League? His dad, a legend, a Foss youth, Jorge Moran. Big opportunity here. It's Moran into the corner, and Segura made the save. Perfectly hit free kick. That is absolutely whipping inside the post. Oh, he had it and he knew it. Hit that just perfectly. Pushing up. Castillo. Over Renderos. Castro crossfield. Well, the goalkeepers come on. Segura's earned his keep and then some. Important stop in the context of this series. Trouble brewing now for Foss. Segura got down to make the stop on Aymar. The follow is right into his mitts as he dives out. Well done by Brian Segura. (2-1). Club Deportivo Foss advantage in the aggregate. But they've come close now on 2 occasions in the last 5 minutes. And the 21-year-old goalkeeper has come up large and in charge. Segura's been playing around this team now for a decade, since he was 11 years old. And he has saved some pretty significant stops for this first major opportunity in Concacaf League. Lopez. Well, those stops help spur on the offense. The Foss here, Moran. Trying to recollect. Throw for Perez Zeledon. Bouncing, Rodriguez will follow and Coloca has it in his mitts. Well, there's that earlier challenge. On that restart. Lopez for Perez Zeledon. Club Deportivo Foss saying that they have to play with skill, finish their offensive chances. Scoring that away goal would make things easier. They were aware Perez Zeledon would come out and try and be the aggressor. They withstood that for the opening 10-15 minutes. It's in the last 7 to 10 minutes that they've been able to come up with their best opportunities of the match so far. They got gut punched 2 minutes, not 100 seconds into the opening leg. And they've since recovered quite nicely. this side from El Salvador in their first Concacaf League appearance. It's a team that'll admit that the calendar really isn't all that kind to them. They fell Gila last time out. It is a foul against Perez Zeledon. Guillermo Stradia here. Sort of clipped by Lopez from behind. Another look at this dynamite free kick. Segura made one of the saves, if not the save so far of this tournament. And to be able to get back up and show the reflexes to stop this a second time, this 21-year-old is balling out right now on an international stage. Castillo knocked around the ankles. It was a flying challenge from his opposite, number 15, Cesar Carrillo. Carrillo's gone tough into a couple of challenges now. Carrillo was working with tobacco cutters and working at a gym, personal problems around the family. At 24, he retired from football altogether. And ultimately, it was that 2014 run from the Ticos national team drew him back in. He says feet stung to play football again. Carrillo spent 6 years out of the game, and last year, career high 43 appearances in the Primera Division. Carrillo here knocking it back on the header. Barantes. And the attack is on now on the right-hand side and kicked out. Club Deportivo Fas, 2-1 in the aggregate. The advantage over Perez Zeledon. But the Costa Ricans are at home and do have that notable away goal. Rest their hat on. They certainly can't rest on their laurels, not yet. And this really hasn't been desperate. Perez Zeledon. Segura drives it away. This has been measured. Hasn't been overzealous. The attack has been steady, if a bit unspectacular. Smells of a team that knows they have a full 90 minutes to play with when so often teams settle early. Right, approaching the byline, goes blasting off the ad for CONCACAF's burgeoning Instagram account. And out for a corner. Corner for Perez Zeledon. Lopez looking for right. Not much to that, if anything at all. Perez Zeledon will settle and reset. Floated ball, perfect. Venegas. Carrillo. Carrillo. This is near the goal line. And there is an appeal for a foul. And it does come. Matias Coloca got pushed into his own net. He's reaching for the back of his neck. He's tangled up in the netting. That's not a small body that blasted into him. Hermanguillo. So Coloca's checked on here. The trainer. fanny pack and all. Ice, spray, whole 9 yards. Try and get him to continue on. Center Monguillo certainly got him pretty decently there at the goal line. Coloca, plenty of time in the Argentine second division. Last year started 41 games for Club Deportivo Foz. Was key their ultimate run to the semifinals in the Apertura. Trying to check here on Coloca. This is not a very deep bench. Nicolas Pacheco is the backup goalkeeper should Coloca not be able to continue. Coloca is helped back to his feet. Bears all. And ready to bear through it. Already, Victor Montaño has gone down due to injury. That would certainly be another massive shot for Club Deportivo Foz if he wasn't able to continue. Lopez hustled from behind. Chance coming forward, Segura able to get that away. Maybe there's a chance here for Wright. Nope. Nope. Taken off his foot. And now Castillo. Amaya. Everybody turned to the referee. Play does continue through. All over the top for Wright. Coloca missed it entirely. He's able to run over, dive on the ball. That was a little more troublesome than I think he was looking for there. Driven header off of Carrillo, out for a Foz goal kick. Well, if you're going to come off your line, you really have to get to this. And if Wright makes even minimal contact, well, that's a manager that was on the verge of overwhelming celebration. It could have been their first advantage, the aggregate, since just after the hour mark. Foz looking, turn in, be the third aggregate goal. It's away from Aymar. Lopez, 37th minute. Perez Zeledon still in search of that go-ahead goal in the aggregate. Running through Castillo. Castillo lets Castro have it. Crowd can sense the turning tide, but it breaks down at midfield. Barantes. That'll skip through. Sal looked to be pointing towards his wrist. Moran couldn't keep that in. throw for Perez Zeledon. This was right. He sort of grappled the arm of Ivan Flores. Well, coming into this, Kone, the coach there, said that he wanted to wait and kind of see what Foss was all about. Over Gomez, this is a new project for him. Club Deportivo Foss going through some significant change, more so from the coaching and tactical side and from an actual personnel changeover, although new personnel did join as they loaded up for Concacaf League. Brontes drew the foul. And Zeledon with 6 minutes plus stoppage left in the first half. Trying to push up through the center circle. Carrillo. Snipped out by Ibsen Castro. Aymar coming back to the ball. It's a long diagonal switch. Outruns its target. Ball back to Segura. He's made a couple amazing saves. Does seem like there's something to be desired in terms of distribution. It's early. He's playing in a U20 World Cup last year. He is not the full package yet. Right now, he's the reason that Foss's lead is only 2-1. Perez Zeledon dodged a couple bullets in this game. 21-year-old goalkeeper has proven crucial coming in, having been left off the 18 in the opening game. Right sent that flying out. And Perez Zeledon continues what has been a strugglesome first half with 0 shots on target. You think back to the opening leg of this tie, only 2 shots in that game. All told, Foss has been the attacking threat in this series. They had 9-2 shot advantage in the opening leg. And look, it was in San Salvador. That has some weight to it, but Foss a 64-36 possession advantage. Foss has looked the better of the two teams over the course of it. There's a reason they lead in the scoreline. Two-legged slide toward Castillo. This hit, a bit of pace. We're able to get down on his right-hand side. And here comes Perez Zeledon. 1 goal. Swing this tie in their favor. You think about what awaits Rabanito, most likely. Quarterfinals begin in about 2 weeks on August 21st. First leg will be played that week, Tuesday to Thursday, and then the last week of August, the 28th through the 30th, they'll get the second leg in. The finals don't begin until the final week of October, going into the final. Second leg, right. Cuts that all the way across. A chance now, and Lopez has it ricochet out of play. sent a BB toward the upper side of the net. That's brilliant foresight to lay that across. Jorge Moran took that bullet for Foss. Well, still nothing on target yet for Perez Zeledon. That was their best chance, though. On the ensuing corner, ball up for Monguillo. Monguillo apparently was yanking at the defender around him. Perez Zeledon trying to avoid what would be a bit of a stunning early black mark on Costa Rica in this tournament. This has not been their best work. Herediano up by a marginal 1-goal advantage over Santa Tecla. And then Portmore United took it to Santos de Guapolis, a team that only got in as a wild card despite reaching the final against Olympia last year. Ball was headed on towards Casal. Bounding through and booted away by Flores as we near first half stoppage time. Lopez now, it's scooped aside. Coloca did well to not only knock that away from goal, but to play it off toward the left-hand channel. 3 minutes at a time as we maneuver into first half stoppage. Lopez, that's a dipping ball. That's tough to play against for Coloca. And it's a scoop. He doesn't put that right out in front. If he parries that simply in front of Rafael Rodriguez, that's an easy finish. It appears a bit of fog is settled in here. Away by Monguillo. Temperatures in the mid-70s Fahrenheit at kickoff. Club Deportivo Foss crowd that came has brought plenty of energy. Credit for that. Continue on. Casal was trying to post up a little bit. Headed backward. A little stutter step. Now Foss charging the other way. Correa. Correa will follow this through. Segura drives it away. Midway point of first half stoppage. Referee points for a Foss free kick. Foss, one of the better goal scoring units last year in El Salvador, 39 goals in total. And as you see Correa here doing well to hold things up and then show good explosion into the attacking half. Garcia. Cleared by Mauricio Nunez. Overhead. Truth be told, I don't think this margin is going to be disappointing really to either side. Foss still has their advantage. Perez Zeledon has not given up the road goal. And both teams have left all their options open for the second half. If you're disappointed in anything for Foss, it's that you've lost Montano the rest of the way due to injury. As Carrillo got chopped down there. And we've reached halftime. It was the first half marked in totality by decent passages of play without much to show for it on the back end. Neither team really asserting themselves. By the same token, both teams had their moments, particular for Club Deportivo Foss around the 15th through the 25th minute, and for Perez Zeledon in the waning minutes before halftime could have found that go-ahead goal that would have put them level in the aggregate and ahead on away goals. All that said, it is CD Foss 2-1 advantage with 3/4 of this round of 16 tie in the books. It is halftime in Costa Rica, and it's Foss 0, Perez Zeledon 0. First half highlights between Club Deportivo Foss and Perez Zeledon. Perez Zeledon at home, but they trail 2-1. So that road goal, significant from San Salvador, but Foss has an advantage with their come-from-behind victory in the opening leg. Means this round of 16 second leg carries all that much more weight for the home side, as the road side just tries to see this thing out through 90 minutes. 0-0 draw would benefit Foss and send them through to the quarterfinal. It was a first half that did have passages of play that were positive. This was an instance of a handball, as the ball getting up off of right there to corral it and ultimately drive it over the crossbar. Club Deportivo Foss having this ball sort of ricochet out. Not much to it on the service. Maybe the best chance of the game also proves to be the most disappointing. Victor Montano collecting a square ball, driving in, knocking it away, coming up to it. It is an injury that happens here. You see him skip up at the end. Moments later, Jorge Moran, brilliant free kick, curls toward the corner. Brian Segura, the 21-year-old, gets up and drives it away. That is a phenomenal save. Unforgettable stuff for the young netminder. Moving forward for Foss, this just minutes later, headed down and an opportunity to square it off for Fernando Castillo. The first half substitute doesn't come off. After a great initial save, Juan Aymar unable to get this in the net, and it would remain at 0-0. This ball would result in Caloca being injured on the goal line. Carrillo making it just dangerous enough. Wright was waiting, but it was Eder Monguillo who goes piling into him and leaves him on the ground for a couple minutes' time. He had his torso looked at, ultimately tangled up in the net as well. Just a few minutes after that, Segura getting down to make a stop, rather routine. Perez Zeledon with probably their best buildup of play. Anthony Lopez, Yosel Wright, and it goes flying off of Jorge Moran. Stood in the way of a blast of a shot. Would have been tough for Coloca. A little bit of help from his defenders. Lopez, minutes later, scooped out and parried off into the left-hand channel by Coloca to maintain 0-0. As Perez Zeledon getting to the halftime whistle. And a little bit of frustration there boiling over from Perez Zeledon. They did want to try and get that free kick in, but it wasn't meant to be. As at halftime, 0-0, the aggregate remains 2-1 in favor of Club Deportivo FAS. Perez Zeledon has basically reversed the statistics we saw from the first leg, at least in terms of possession. 23 fouls, and some of them from the referee have been a little bit perhaps soft. But it has been a markedly physical opening half, and that's probably the way that FAS wanted it to play out. In the end, though, they've been more accurate in terms of putting shots near target. 5 shots, 4 on target, but nothing in the net. And lets Perez Zeledon hang around. FAS looking for that road goal. For Perez Zeledon, that one goal that would make their road goal last week in San Salvador carry the day. As it stands now, scoreless at halftime. And Club Deportivo FAS over Perez Zeledon, 2-1 in the aggregate.
Hey, ¿qué? ¿Todo bien? ¿Cierto? ¿Todo bien? ¿Todo bien? que yo no pico más, güey.
Moist conditions in Costa Rica. We're set to enter into the second half. It's a luxury to get off to the dressing room for 15 minutes time, but now the focus has to return for Club Deportivo FAS. The result as it stands now, a positive one. They're through to the quarterfinal. They're able to maintain the 0-0 result. For Perez Zeledon, their Concacaf League campaign is over if they don't score a goal in this second half. If they allow FAS to score, well, then all of a sudden you need two just to send it to penalties. So it is a very thin line that they're walking right now. They do need to be aggressive, but if they let this get away from them, they may not see the light of day in this tournament. Quarterfinal would match the winner of this series against Arabe or Arnett Gardens. It's 3-0 there to the Panamanian side. So Arabe a likely candidate for a quarterfinal matchup. Referee checks his watch. Of El Salvador, FAS of Costa Rica, Perez Zeledon. Standing over the ball, waiting. Enveloped by moist fog and humidity. Heat in the 70s. Second half about to begin. Carlos Stradea is ready. Here we go. Here we go, second half. Concacaf League round of 16. Spot in the quarterfinal awaits the winner, as it's 2-1 in favor of the Salvadoran side. This is a Perez Zeledon side that has good aerial power. There was a lot of talk about the intensity with which they play from the FAS staff as to how to best handle it. That is a very high boot getting up on Moran. It is a yellow card. So Moran will go into the book. And the fouls of the first half continue. Nico Venegas immediately fouled to start this second half. Moran is the second player in this match to be placed on a caution. Rodriguez for Perez Zeledon the other. Anthony Lopez has provided pretty good service on the day. And set piece is a specialty for Perez Zeledon. Lopez was right. Lost his footing and goes down. It is a goal kick. Favor of Foss. Sort of hit into no man's land, wasn't it? Behind Barantes, but too far out in front. USL right. Coloca spent time in the Mexican second division a handful of years ago. Coloca's now third season with the Salvadoran group. And held in on the touchline for Dustin Correa. Correa is being gestured at by the assistant referee. Inch a little further back. Right in pursuit. Steered as far as Cazal. Knocked wide by Lopez. Carrillo. Wow. Carrillo. Header. Going all the way across, Venegas. Corner. Lopez scored just an unreal goal against Saprissa. That's one way to endear yourself. Stoppage time winner. And Saprissa last year. He has scored some big goals along the way. Wright getting a talking to here. Wright listed 6 feet 2 inches. He's been draped over for much of the match. And the referee has simply had enough of it. Tough position. Oliver Vergara. Here we go again. Player getting tackled. Lopez puts it in play. And there's the whistle. It goes against Perez Zeledon. Well, it will be interesting to see how Foss decides to move forward here. They came out with the intention of putting this thing away, getting a road goal, giving themselves some breathing room. This ball come all the way through. Coloca has it under control. But Foss still holding on and nurturing that 2-1 lead. They garnered away. Up the left-hand channel. Attacking now. Castillo, it is a corner for Foss. Well, took that all the way against Carrillo. Carrillo's pointing for a goal kick all the way. Swings to the penalty spot. Collected. Amaya. Throw for Foss. Frustration continuing to bubble up a bit. That's from Barantes. Some fancy footwork from Dustin Correa. Such an impressive young Salvadoran and American player. Wouldn't want to be on the wrong end of that glare. It's been a battle of wits here. Chested down by Wright. Poked out by Renderos. And with significant Champions League experience with Foss. Spent time on loan in Iraq. Involved in the World Cup qualifying cycle for El Salvador. This ball hit with pace on the turn outside the post. The ball got tossed into Coloca. The referee's already trying to avoid any early Salvadoran time wasting. Remarkably now 27 fouls in this game. Speared upfield. Monguillo rose up, make it 28. Despite the 28 fouls, only 2 that were deemed yellow card worthy. Free kick. Correa floating to the back post, and the header is steered aside. Xavier Garcia. Garcia, one of the superstars for the Salvadoran national team. Zal probably had a little more time there than he thought. Cross field. Intercepted, racing in, Castillo. Had trouble corralling that bouncing ball. 10 minutes into the second half, the story remains the same. Just marginally offside. Correa reaching the byline. Throw for Perez Zeledon off of Aymar. Tossed into the box, posting up right. This will be a corner for the Costa Ricans. Anthony Lopez. Barantes. Coloca did well to watch that all the way in. It did air toward the post, but wide. Thrown in, Rodriguez. Away by Stradea. Monguillo. Soto. Header toward right, he brings it down. Reverses for the service across. Header toward the corner, off the post. Venegas just missed the follow. Venegas is punched aside, Coloca. As close as Zeledon's been all game long. Coloca standing as tall as needed. Rodriguez goes down. And no whistle. The stadium's come completely alive. Correa hopping down to whistle against Foss. And Perez Zeledon came so close. This Xavier Garcia, a little shiv into the side. Rodriguez. This ball hit towards the net and Coloca is on it. '60th minute now. Perez Zeledon just struck the post. And followed effort that very easily could have found the right side or the back of the Club Deportivo Foss net. Popped up for Venegas. Right is coming through. Touched aside by Moran. Crossfield now. Referee, no whistle here either. Lauro Cazal was pointing toward his neck. And now the whistle blows. And if you're Perez Zeledon, you think about all the fouls in the first half. And they have to be wondering why the two inside the box gone out a whistle. And Perez Zeledon with a spot kick could conceivably take the lead. The referee is running over towards the fourth official. There's pushing and shoving. The referee's not even looking in that direction. The coach, Perez Zeledon's just been handed a yellow card. Well, it's gotten a little bit messy here. And you have to understand why the coach would be incensed. It's really not that difficult to wrap your head around. Well, this stadium doesn't feel much like a mortuary anymore. All kinds of energy entering into Estadio Alejandro Morera Soto. Correa, very impressive. The ball to Moran is on point too. He's able to turn, keep possession, flick it through. Played into an onside on-rushing Venegas. Venegas keeping, laying it off now. Is there a chance? It's in! Perez Zeledon! Lopez! They lead in the aggregate with a phenomenal goal! The vision from Venegas, the power from Lopez, the negative pass, and the trailing run. Lopez settling and firing an absolute missile off the post and in. You think about the goal he scored against Saprissa in stoppage time, a game winner. And Lopez is at his tricks again. What an incredible goal. And the native of Alajuela, with all the Costa Ricans' hopes pinned on him. Wow, brilliant. Foss making a move. It is an attack-minded substitution. Ibson Castro comes out. And Irvin Herrera set to come in. A top-tier scorer, both for Santa Tecla previously and also for St. Louis Football Club of the United Soccer League, the U.S. Second Division. Touched away from right. Castro out, Herrera on. Lopez trying to get that through. Then goes flying into Renderos. Well, it sounds like a misnomer, but it is 2-2. Perez Zeledon does lead on the away goal. That's an elevated boot coming in to try and make contact there. So Nunez commits the foul. Bouncing for Venegas. And it looked like Venegas's window had closed. No such thing. A couple players go toward the bench. Battling there right on the touchline. Ball knocked over the top. Caught. Brian Segura, if Perez Zeledon goes through, has done a remarkable job on the night. Big saves in the first half. Very well may have swung the result. This tie is done. Venegas goes down. Renderos, another physical challenge. Long run out from Amaya. And Amaya push off. Man of the match voting underway at the Champions Concacaf League in 2018 has just provided one surprise after another. And right now, Perez Zeledon closing in. Can Herrera catch up to this? Segura's there. Herrera kind of helping him down to the ground. He realized he sort of threw that right foot in and then sort of backed out of the challenge. How about this from Lopez? Best angle you'll see. No movement on that ball at all. No rotation. Perez Zeledon, the advantage in the most thrilling way possible. For Perez Zeledon's side that, well, hasn't really won very much over the years, have they? 2004 Apertura, 2017 Apertura. They're 56 years into this thing. That's it. The Southern Warriors haven't exactly lit up the Costa Rican League over the years, and yet here they are. Their first CONCACAF League on the verge, getting through on away goals. This is a foul and a free kick for Perez Zeledon at the 70-minute mark. As Wright trying to back in here. It's 2-2 with the away goal in favor of Perez Zeledon. Ball chest ahead by Venegas. And Coloca is there. Coloca claps on. The talking point, Perez Zeledon, is that they want to make history in this tournament. Challenges, dreams, by their own words, make every effort, make them happen. Offside flag is up on this run out from Fernando Castillo. Well, there's the ball coming out. If he was offside, it was about by a step. Segura. Out of the reach or right. Handled by Coloca. And here comes Foss. A big club. A lot of El Salvador plaudits. They won the 1979 Concacaf Champions Cup. So they have had top-level success in the region previous. That said, it's been a while. Last won the league in 2009. Yet here they are on the road in Costa Rica, representing a nation. Circling around, that is a leveling blow. No whistle. And here comes Zeledon. Crossfield from Nunez. Nunez puts it on a platter right, trying to get through. Zal did a great job. Bring that down one time off his head. Try and create something. And now Cesar Carrillo lies on his back, having fallen away from Stradea. Contact, and again the referee turns and runs the other way. And a tug at the back. This is whistled. Free kick. Foss. Nunez, guilty party. Will turn. And now the player down is Lopez, the goal scorer. It's a yellow card. That was off in transition. Hey, Mark. Second player on a yellow right now for Foss. Lopez trying to combine here and then getting clipped from behind. Think about Lopez. Goal scorer in this game. And Wright, who's come close, provided decent opportunities. 76th minute. Won't find Venegas. Header upfield. The turn is on. Herrera won't get there. Lopez, foul from the side. Herrera was trying to get the ball back there for Fossen and get on the move. Lopez slow to his feet. His uncle Wilmer, legend, Walense, played for the Costa Rican national team prominently. His dad, Harold, former player, an assistant for the women's national team. Service launched along. Coloca will catch that there. And it's Anthony Lopez following in the large footsteps of his vaunted family, carrying some of the biggest goals this season so far in Costa Rica. As Herrera has a couple players from Perez Zeledon coming up and really charging at him for dropping Luis Carlos Barrantes. All's forgiven. This is Giaccone. What's the conversation there? They have substitutes to work with. You see the cards in hand with his assistant. Ball snapped down. Rodriguez won't get there. Rodriguez goes tumbling towards the net. Rodriguez just trying to get himself back on his feet. He's hobbling away. Appears to be at minimum intense discomfort. He's back down and gripping onto his right ankle. Well, he's shown a yellow card. And that's a red. That's his second yellow card. He got one in the 16th. And he's sent off now. Well, this is a whole different kettle of fish now for Perez Zeledon. They're going to have to finish this out with 10. Well, there's the hopeful header. And yeah, it's the shin off the head of Caloca. It's just a dangerous challenge on a goalkeeper that already had the ball under control on the slide. Rodriguez sent off, 79th minute. Perez Zeledon, 2-2 aggregate, level, but the road goal. So they do lead. They have to finish this down a man. Their job has just become immensely more difficult. Ball knocked over the top. Is there something here for the Salvadoran side? It's away from Stradea. Trying to chest this down. Zymar, who finds Amaya. Laid off by Castillo. Crossfield, Moran. Moran crossing, got by Herrera. Moran arriving again. Will he have a second look at this? Knocks it wide, Stradea. Moran arriving near the byline, just a touch. Lost his footing. Out to touch. For the Tico fans in the stands, this is going to be the longest 10 minutes they've experienced in a long time. It's a throw here. Chance for Perez Zeledon to catch their breath for a moment. Can Gomez and his side find an answer? Venegas, phenomenal assist to set up the goal. Correa, Flores, Amaya, at the side, Aymar. Perez Zeledon leads with the one road goal. It's 2-2 in the aggregate. Amaya out to the left, sliding by Lopez. There it is for Herrera. Comes down to Moran. Moran lofting. It's whipped away from Herrera this time. Caloca is out of his net now. There's a chance. Right, dragging wide. Caloca has gotten back. Well, the crowd sensed an unbelievable opportunity there, and it would have been unbelievable if he'd been able to lob that from half field. Matias Caloca let that slowly dribble out to him. Almost paid a pretty embarrassing price. Bouncing away from right by Garcia. Chested upfield, Lopez blasted off the ball. Still frustration reigns. Barantes going head to head with Amaya. It's boiling over now. Couple changes coming. Dennis Castillo is waiting to come on, a defender, Perez Zeledon, but first, it's William Maldonado who comes in for Foss. This is their third and final substitution. Castillo came on as an injury replacement for Montano. Maldonado and Herrera have come on as attacking-minded subs since the goal. Off of Correa. Correa! Well, would have been seen on highlight reels worldwide if he sinks that. It was ambitious at best. Castillo set to come in. And how about this? Lopez, like father, like son. Another absolute golazo with all the marbles on the line in this tournament. At this point, it's Castillo's job to protect what Lopez gave, which is an advantage in the final 5-6 minutes before stoppage. Herrera charging. Segura drives down, dives on the ball. Bounding all the way to Caloca. And Foss starts up again. Five minutes to go. Lopez, the go-ahead goal in the aggregate. Perez Zeledon in the 63rd minute. 22 minutes with the lead. But they are down a man, a red card issued to Rafael Rodriguez after a collision with the goalkeeper. It's deemed a second yellow. Renderos. As far as Barantes. That is kept in play. Venegas showing off great speed. Caloca back into goal. Venegas! Caloca made the save. Venegas is after it again. This time he won't get there. That could have been it for Perez Zeledon. If they score, Foss is not out of it. They would need to score themselves to get it to penalties. 2-1 is the only route to penalties. The end of this second leg. Correa goes for goal. Herrera got a touch. Herrera was offside. Segura's made another good save. This is an absolute palm stinger. And Venegas turning on the jets, arriving just before that ball got out of play, and then curling in towards goal. And Caloca, coming off his line, does really well with the help of Renderos, who shaded and ultimately carried enough, get him into a more difficult shooting position. And that's the last run Venegas is going to make. Fernando Mangi comes on. Last sub. So these are the 22 that'll finish, rather 21 that'll finish this one. Dangerous challenge and a yellow card to follow. Well, this one was probably a long time coming. Carrillo easily could have been handed a yellow. Minimum for persistent infringement a couple of times in this game. This was the palm-stinging save made by Segura previously. Herrera had this ricochet right off him, but he was in offside position. Carrillo, 88th minute, yellow card. It'll be Maldonado or Amaya. The referee telling these players to keep their arms below head level, keep him from having to make a tough decision as they are all inside the 18-yard box. Maldonado will strike for goal, hit it off the wall, and a corner coming for Foss with 90 seconds to play, plus stoppage. Maldonado drives over the 6-yard box. It's away. Aymar. They won't be able to get out in transition. It's scooped ahead. Off of Castillo. And now the break is on. Barantes commits a foul. Ball deflects. Segura's come out, gotten it. Play on. Lining this up, Amaya. Leveled off, played through Herrera. Was offside. Is Lopez's goal enough in the 63rd? Fossa come from behind victory in San Salvador. As Herrera very clearly offside. 4 minutes added time. Almost assuredly, Arabe Anito awaits. There is another round of 16 tie to come before the quarterfinal is set to begin in 2 weeks. Arnett Gardens down 3-0. Arabe Anito from Panama has to be the favorite. There it is, 4 minutes. Gets by Herrera. Ball lobbed toward the right side and over the byline. A glance at the watch as the manager Gomez. One more showstopper for Foss. Nearly skipped through to Cazal. Herrera nods it. Maldonado Rolling it up the left-hand side. Stepped aside, Barantes. Still on now for Castillo. Castillo serving across. Nobody home, Correa will recover. Moran. Still 2 more minutes of added time. Up by Amaya. Taken. Carrillo. Kept in play by Foss. Lobbed along and caught by Seguri. Needed sure hands there. Nestor Renderos right in front of him. Herrera bodied off the ball. Now Herrera concedes. Perez Zeledon. Is this where Foss falls out? A minute to go for Perez Zeledon to complete their comeback. Offside flag is up. On the run, Stradea able to keep it for Foss. Lobbed over Herrera. Popped away from Correa. Little collision. Surely this is the end. Not much time to go. Moran. Over Moran. He'll have time if he can maintain possession. It's a throw. Goalkeeper is forward, Caloca. Drives it long. It's their chance for one more service. If Foss can score here, they're through. Lays it up the left-hand side. Ball in front. It's in! It's in! Foss scores at the death! Through to the quarterfinals! Unbelievable heartbreak for Perez Zeledon. Assuredly, you've never seen anything like this. Absolute Salvadoran pandemonium. Will Perez Zeledon get their chance? It was Stradea. Full time. Another look at this. There's the ball through. That is an own goal. That will assuredly be changed to an own goal. It bounces inside the post. And at the final second, Foss comes away with the result. And it is crushing, crushing defeat. And on the other side, Gomez and Foss will carry on to the quarterfinal. Absolute shock in Costa Rica. Club Deportivo Foz off the captain of Perez Zeledon, Keeler Soto. Just the second title for Perez Zeledon, their first appearance, Concacaf League. They fall out in devastating fashion to a Foz side that never gave up, followed through to the death. For Lopez, an incredible goal, but for Soto, well, he has the own goal that sinks Perez Zeledon at the death. For our entire team, Mike Watts saying thanks for watching. Club Deportivo Foz is through in the aggregate in the most staggering way imaginable. 3-2 over Perez Zeledon. Good night.